have
my
done that?
gosh, that's horrible. Oh,
Um, I'm sure you've like I saw some video and it was like when you show up to the gym without your SD card and I was like, okay, that's a good
that's perfect.
videographer
No,
meme. I'm glad we're in that territory
oh,
now.
I've done that like at a shoot back when I was like 16, and oh, it was so embarrassing.
At least you usually only have to do that once and then you're like, all right, fuck, I'm never gonna do that again.
Yeah, I double check everything now these days. I made that one slip up and I'm like, got my checklist.
Oh, I'm like OCD about it sometimes. I'm like, if I don't have everything like in
Yes.
exactly the right place, then I'll like I'll feel something's off.
I feel that. I feel that.
Well, nice to meet you. Thanks for doing this. I mean,
Yeah, absolutely.
you could probably see like a little bit what we're trying to do. Um, I can give you a little bit of background on myself if that helps, and then I don't know. I thought trying to ask questions that like would give kind of 60-second answers so we could like repurpose for a short form. But I mean, if you have a longer answer, obviously, speak your mind, to say your
Yeah.
truth.
I'll keep that in
But
mind though for sure.
yeah, because I figured I see your storytelling technique and you know how to do the sound bites. And, I was 15 when I got my first camera, that kind of thing. So I'm like, all right, she knows what she's
I
doing.
try.
No, you're killing it. So I'm Max.
Thank
I
you.
actually I first picked up a camera. I think it was the same one you had, GoPro 3. I literally was just on your Instagram. Um,
Yep.
GoPro 3 was the first one I ever had too. And I was just like, oh, this is the coolest thing in the world. And I got my brother into it. He's at U Miami right now. And so he's totally sports filming obsessed. I was never really so much in the sports world. I was more like travel, like Jay Alvarez aesthetic. That was kind of my thing. Um, but he over the holidays told me that he's personally matched 10 athletes with videographers, like just through his network. And he was like, "Yeah, I really want to build an app or build a website that does that for me." And I was like, "That doesn't sound that hard." So I used an AI to code it, and now it's like fully working. You can process payments. You can message on the platform. It hosts people's profiles, and we have 70 people signed up. Probably about 60 or 65 videographers and 5 or 10 athletes. So that's what we're doing. It's called Courtside. I think it's hopefully going to be awesome. Videographers have had a pretty positive response from it so far. So yeah, and I thought the coolest thing ever would be use that as an excuse, partly to get content and partly to just talk to other cool, creative people and do like a little interview series. So you're our first guest ever, so welcome and thanks.
Thank you.
And who better to start with? So maybe if you want to just tell the viewers a little bit about who you are and kind of like maybe your come up story or what first got you interested, I think would be an awesome place to start. So again, thanks for coming on. And yeah,
Yeah, absolutely. Also, that's a great idea. That's something I've been looking for. Like when I was 15 and in high school trying to do this, that is exactly what I was looking for. And obviously there was nothing around. I haven't heard of anything. So props to you guys for that. Seriously, that's impressive. Um, but yeah, I'm Makayla, and I really first started getting into the sports realm when I was 9. My older brother played baseball, and then I kind of just loved documenting moments. That was always my favorite thing. I was introduced to this app called Vine, Miss Vine, but basically I saw a bunch of sports clips on that. People would clip one-handed catches, tackles, whatever it was, and I was like, hey, I want to get my hands on that. So started editing there. Eventually, the sports creator realm just flipped to Instagram, and we started doing longer edits. Loved that, and then about eighth grade, I got my first real camera, and I just kind of documented the moments my friends, like our friends, would go do just random stuff. We'd go to the movies, we'd go explore tunnels. I would always film that. And then high school was really when my passion kind of grew for sports videography itself. So it kind of flipped from the editing side to more so filming and editing. And I was a freshman in high school when all that started. There was a an account called OC Student Sections, and it was basically battle of the student sections with high schools, and it was kind of like who had good hype videos, who had the most student presence at football games. But that's a little bit in a condensed version of how I started.
That's awesome. And
I'm
how
trying to
old are
keep it
you?
try to keep it short.
Yeah, no, it's freaking perfect. And how old are you and where do you go to school?
I just turned 21 a week ago, and I go to
Happy
school at
birthday.
Arizona State.
Hell
Thank
yeah.
you.
And where are you
I'm
from?
very excited for that. I'm from Orange County, California.
Okay, cool. Awesome. Um, so I guess could you talk a little bit about some of the brands maybe you've worked with or athletes you've worked with and kind of how some of those came to be? Like I'm guessing a lot of people that are watching this have either maybe worked with a few or a handful or haven't. And so I guess kind of how did you go from, being 16 in high school just filming with your friends to where you are now? And you don't answer in one sentence. Feel free to answer however you need.
Yeah, absolutely. So, okay, this really kind of took off when COVID was going on. My teammate at the time, who now plays professional soccer for Thorns FC, Jaden Perry, he reached out to me and basically wanted to film like a training video. And this girl's insane. Like she was committed to UCLA by 15. So
Damn.
I looked up to her as a soccer player, yeah, and as just a person in general. She was super cool. But we basically went out and filmed a little free training video. I practiced my shots, kind of coming up with what I wanted to do and how I directed her. So, I got some skills on to do that. And then once I was done with that video, she posted it and a lot of her teammates hit me up. So, again, I got to practice kind of just invoicing at 15 and also directing in a way, which was very fundamental skill set growing up. That's really carried me far and just planning everything out and storytelling. But I want to say I really started working with professional brands when I got to college. I will say everything I did in high school was a big fundamental and starting point for me. I was video commissioner in student council, so I was literally filming everything. I was filming assemblies, school events, pep rallies, sporting events. I would have my friends be like, "Oh, come to my volleyball game tonight." So I was doing that. So it was just a lot of repetitiveness, and those reps like they really helped me. It was a trial and error. I got to mess around and do different things, different effects, try just basically anything. But that really helped because once I got to college, I already had a portfolio without really realizing it. And I've gotten to work with the Manning Passing Academy, which is Eli and Peyton Manning's quarterback academy they have in Thibodaux, Louisiana. So that was super cool. I did that my freshman going into sophomore year. And it was kind of just free for all. Like I worked with one other videographer, Joe Bond. Shout out that guy, very big help during that time. We basically got to kind of just come up with a bunch of content, and that was my first time really coming up with concepts and what to do and how to bring traction to the camp. So that was super fun. Obviously, yeah, we worked with Peyton, Eli, who is there? Fernando Mendoza, Heisman Trophy winner now. Jackson Dart was there. Quinn Ewers at the time, who's super big. Yeah, that was super fun. I'm trying to think who else.
Would you say that was one of
Obviously,
sorry, I was
sorry,
gonna
you
say
can go.
was that like a eye-opening moment, I guess? Or was that like a moment when you're like, oh, I could actually like do this? Did you make money from that? Because you said you were doing it for free at the beginning, just like for your friends, for the girls on the soccer team. And then I don't know if there was a moment when I don't know where it kind of clicked.
Yeah, I would definitely say that clicked for me because I love football. I grew up watching football, ride or die with that. And it was cool because it's like I got to go to a camp where I looked up to Eli and Peyton Manning and all these amazing college athletes. And we did get paid. It was also like an experience as well. We were RAs for the camp counselors. So I would
Mhm.
also kind of help kids like walk around, go drill to drill. But I also had to balance being a videographer and content creator there. But that was my eye opening moment, honestly, because I was like, okay, wow, like maybe I can do something with this. Maybe I'm should have more confidence. And that was a real confidence builder for me, just because it's like, I went from doing high school work, filming the high school football games to like, okay, here we are at a college camp and a camp a lot of kids go to. So
Could you talk a little bit more about how you have and maybe if it's ever been a challenge balancing videography and like your creative side with either the sports you're doing or personal life or hang out with friends or school?
Yeah, absolutely. So work-life balance definitely is something I have struggled with my entire life. And I feel like just now into my junior year of college, I've gotten a hang of it. I was always in go, 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 go mode. And, some people can do that, but I am the type of person who sometimes I need a few hours to myself. And, sometimes it's okay to say no to that free work because it got to a point in my freshman year of college, like, I was just mentally drained. And honestly, I was burnt out with videography. I was just kind of over it and I was just straggling myself through the days. And then it's like, once I was done with video, I had to come focus on school. And it's like, I didn't get much of a social, like a happy social life, I would say, just because I always had things on my mind and I always was in go go mode. But recently, I have learned to take a day for myself, don't commit myself to so many things. And honestly, mentally, I do feel better. And I'm not always stressed. I'm not always like overwhelmed or I can turn my brain off. But it has been a little bit of a struggle for me. And that's what I do try and tell people is absolutely take on free work. But if there's a point where it does cost your time and energy, like be okay saying no.
Completely. And I guess you talked about that girl on the soccer team, the first one you filmed for, being like someone you looked up to. Are there other people in the creative space who you looked up to?
Yeah, honestly, Alex Hampstead, she's super cool. And she actually followed me back like a month ago. And I was like, oh my
Oh,
gosh, like that's
nice.
cool because, yeah, I was super stoked about that. But, her story, it just goes to show like work hard and eventually someone's going to watch your work. And if you keep up with the consistency and doing your thing, always wanting to improve and just posting for the love of the game, like it will pay off. And patience definitely does come into play with that. Cause, there were times when I was 19 in college and I was like, shoot, like I want more for myself. Is there anything else? And like here I am at 21. I've been patient, worked on my craft, and I mean I have an internship with the Diamondbacks as a video producer, which that's been my number one goal at the end of the day. So definitely her story has was a big eye opener to me to just keep working, keep doing my thing, and build my personal brand and post for the love of the game.
That's awesome. And so
Thank you.
when you were talking about your congrats, by the way, you're like kind of, I
Thank you.
mean, like, was this your, I mean, I don't know if you had it all like planned out, but when you were 16, like if you could go back and tell your 16-year-old self, would you have any advice for her knowing what you know
yeah,
now?
so so I was little 14-year-old Makayla just shooting DMs to live content corresponders in the MLB and NFL. And I'm like, hey, like I want to do what you're doing when I'm older, any tips and stuff. And it's so cliche, but they always told me work on your craft, uh, fix the small things, don't worry about gear. And honestly, I going in time forward at 21, I didn't realize how true it was because I was always focused on gear and oh, best quality, best this, that, that, that. But honestly, my biggest advice is work on your editing game, work on telling a story, and just grasp the concept of the fundamentals because I didn't even know how to balance my white balance settings until I really was a senior in high school. And it's like just small things like that really do come into play as you get older and just as time goes on. So, yeah, any high schoolers, I definitely say like work on the fundamentals and definitely get up your editing game because there's a lot of talented people. And I'm not saying, you need these crazy edits, but definitely know how to tell a story and know when to add an effect because less is more at the end of the day.
Can you speak more to the storytelling aspect of it? Because a lot of the people that I've seen kind of in the game now, especially high schoolers, I don't really see a story. Some, but a lot of it just feels like kind of, I don't know, disconnected shots. So I guess like what does it mean to tell a story for you, and how do you think about that?
Yeah, so like if I'm shooting an ASU football game, and I have done this for our student section account on Instagram. I always try and do establishing shots. So like you need to start, middle, end. And with that, I'm lucky enough where I can also use the announcer to kind of set the tone. So it's like, oh, for our first football game, it was like back in Tempe, Saturday night, the students are hyped. And you can also use AI voice for that. And I have done that. I've gotten away with that. I have chat sometimes help me script it. And then I use voice labs. That's been great. But kind of set the tone there. And then in a way, I've always struggled with this a little bit too, but in a way, not sure, like show what's going on. Like if there's good touchdowns, good hits, celebrations. Like, don't be afraid to add all that in that middle segment. And the ending's kind of always been simple for me. Just, I show the team celebrating celebration shots. But that's for like short form stuff. If I'm doing long form storytelling, I did a ASU versus BYU video, and that was super cool. That was like a big deal going on because last year we were completely underdogs, not supposed to win that game. But I would kind of set the tone with, showing we were the underdogs. We were ranked last in the Big 12, and I had some visuals up on there. And that whole narration was all AI. That really carried my story for me. My shots were kind of just simple, I would say. I did have some like stadium shots, football player shots, close ups, wide shots, but I really had AI narration help me through that.
So
And
don't just flood
I
it with
think I
AI. Use AI like purposefully to fill in
purpose, yeah.
holes where you were maybe missing or where part of the story was kind of lacking.
Yeah, absolutely. So my whole thing is like, yes, use AI purposely. I think AI is a tool and it's meant to be used purposely. Don't let it completely consume your creativity. I would have it just help me draw inspiration and it would give me a little bit of a script and I would kind of just make it sound right in my way or my own eyes.
Awesome. Um, I guess where do you see, not like looking into the future, but I don't know, are there more goals that you have ahead of you? You talked about, getting this kind of dream internship for yourself and working with kind of one of your favorite football teams. Is there things that you have next on your creative bucket list?
Oh, absolutely. I would love my number one goal is to work with a team professionally, whether that's baseball, basketball, football, hockey, any of that. My dream goal is to work in the NFL. That's always been a big thing for me growing up, loving football. But obviously, as I get older, I'm kind of still deciding with that one if, I want to go in and manage people in the creative side and not shoot so much just because like I do want a family of my own or tap into the freelance side and kind of get a grasp on how things work more business wise in the video world because that is something I am trying to teach myself still now. And I know it's you see the people like $10,000 a month and it's like how do you do that?
Completely. I mean, the business aspect, you mean? How have you tried to think about that so far?
I am a business student right now, and someone gave me a course which was very kind of them, and a lot of it is similar. I will say school obviously sometimes makes it a little bit boring, but that's something I'm still trying to understand. So far, I do have the basics of just like invoicing, contracting, uh, deliverables, doing things on time. That's always big, but for actually like still getting clients, doing outreach, like I'm still kind of getting a grasp on that.
100%. Yeah. I mean, I feel like kind of the way you're doing it, the entrepreneurial route is probably the best way to learn. Like I went to Georgetown. I'm a finance major, and a lot of that was business too. And I feel like I've learned not more than all throughout college, but a lot, even literally the past month since starting this. Like, what actually is a business? Okay, well, you're either gonna do something for someone else or for a company that like is a service business, or you're gonna make something. Um, I mean, now there's like online communities, which is another huge like kind of mix product. So you make the thing first, and then you need people to buy it. I mean, like it's kind of like producing the thing and then marketing. To me, that's like how I'm kind of seeing business right now, and just making sure that you have a consistent pipeline of coming in. That's why we're seeing these creators become billionaires now, because it's so much about who has the attention, and everyone kind of wants a piece of it. I think the people that can build trust and have produced consistent high quality work in whatever niche they're in for a long period of time, um, has the foundation to build a business that kind of really suits them, which I just think is the dream life that a lot of people are trying to achieve.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's a little bit too why I'm building my personal brand is like maybe attract, nurture, and repeat. So I know video marketing is a huge thing these days, especially in like 2026. So, if you can get eyes on your video and it's a video that keeps the viewer watching, like you'll probably most likely sell them on what you're doing. And that goes for like not just videography, but just any business, whether it's tutoring, restaurants, roofing. Like I've kind of just seen it all. I've seen, the videographers have their systems and then they help out local businesses. That's something I definitely want to do and get a grasp of. It's been a little hard right now just because of my internship and school, but that's definitely a side hustle I'm going to tap into this summer.
That's awesome. Cool.
Thank you.
Sweet conversation. Nice talking to you. Nice meeting you.
Yeah. Nice. But what about you? I feel like I've done all the talking, which I mean, I
Yeah.
get, but
Yeah,
still
no,
want to know more
totally.
about you.
I mean, ask away. Yeah, I mean, I don't know where to start, but I mean, I feel
Yeah.
you yeah, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, how is the marketing with Courtside and everything?
I mean, so far I've been doing everyone that's signed up, or not everyone, because now too many people are signing up. But for a while, I was doing everyone that good problems to have, I guess. Basically, just doing a kind of a review of their work and kind of just shouting them out, honestly. And then their friends would kind of just see that and follow. And then it was kind of like a feedback loop. So right now, I can actually share my screen if you want to check out the website. Um,
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't know if you've looked around on it too much.
I did see your Instagram. I know that.
Let me
Oh,
just show you this.
videos.
So this
Oh,
is
yeah,
the
I do remember.
this is the homepage here. So this is for if you log on. So basically, what we're trying to do is connect creatives and people that want creatives for either filming them for sports. Like my brother's worked with DJs before, influencers, and eventually small businesses. But right now, we're starting with athletes and mostly videographers. That's why we have an athlete here and a videographer here. And just a little bit more about us, questions. And if you get started, you basically choose I'm an athlete or I'm a creator, and you go through and basically post your portfolio. And once you do that, you show up in this category, which is browse all creators. And right now, we have this map setting, which I just think is so cool.
Yeah,
And
that's awesome.
one crazy thing is I've never been to Ohio, Indiana, or Illinois, but look how many people we have
I
in
was gonna
freaking
say,
Cincinnati, because one person posted from Cincinnati and then just like all of their friends did it. And so basically, like, okay, say you went to school here and say you live in Newtown and you went to school here and you were like, okay, this person's close, Gavin Parnell. You check out all of his work. Okay, so he's like pretty good. Um, Go to his Instagram, whatever. Okay, he's charging $45 per video. Cool. Um, I mean, you can go on his Instagram, or you can request a quote right from here, describe what you need, and then this starts the back and forth. Um, so that's kind of the idea, and that you'd be able to message them, pay, and send videos over the platform. That's one area where I'm trying to figure out how exactly it would work. I think like just through a Google Drive link is the best I figured out so far because it's really hard to send large files. I don't know if you've had to deal with that at all.
Yeah.
But that's kind of where we're at right now. I'm still trying to get the athletes their attention because I feel like I've been mainly marketing to videographers, and so now the marketplace is kind of lopsided, where we have tons of creatives but not as much demand. So now I started learning more about like the recruiting process, and I think I'm going to start interviewing some of my friends who are college athletes to kind of get their kind of authority and perspective behind it, to hopefully attract more athletes. I think parents of athletes would be a huge market that I would want to kind of target. Like thinking when you were asked about like marketing, like who are you trying to speak to? Who is the thing you've built or are building really provide value to, and speak in a way that like resonates with them? Like you wouldn't speak to a 15-year-old videographer the same way you would talk to like his mom. So trying to balance that,
Yep.
especially like with a marketplace, is kind of odd because you're literally trying to speak to two very different groups of people at once. So that's one challenge we've been having, but I don't know. I think it's been going it's going well so far, but I need to figure out how to target athletes better.
You could always, I mean, you were saying this a little bit, but yeah, you can, a good sell point is like, oh, recruitment videos, and having a videographer show up and shoot, get the best clips of them. Because that was always like a thing in my hometown was like, you would have the really poor quality sports clips that were filmed on like the high up cam, and it's hard to kind of see what the athlete's doing. But I know, like, yeah, a big kind of thing people needed was recruitment videos. So that's always something to consider as well.
100%. That's definitely an area I've been thinking about. Like the dream would be to be able to partner with like IMG or NCAA or Huddle or one of those platforms where they have all the athletes coming in already. And we can, I don't know how exactly the partnership would work with them, but either, kick them 50% of the revenue off, what we make for every person they send, or, just be a, I don't know, I guess maybe do the things for free for them and they pay us a certain amount per month just to kind of lease our platform for their use and be able to get their people on for free, something like that. So that's kind of like a big partnership step that I think would be really huge for us. So I'm still trying to figure out how to get that going.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Are you gonna try and eventually expand to like DJs and stuff? Because that's always a good market, I think. I feel like people are always looking for music videos or just clips of them.
Completely. That's like, I mean, 100%. I think athletes is a good starting point, just because my brother's kind of in that niche already, and it's kind of a proven, as there's a ton of talented people out there filming sports. Tons of everyone loves sports, and obviously there is a demand from athletes. I think trying to get them and speak to them is a little bit harder, but 100%. I want to go after DJs, the music space. I think restaurants, small businesses that don't want to pay $5,000 for a professional agency to come in, where they could pay like $500 to some 18-year-old in their town who would probably do just as good of a job, 90% as good of a job, but for a tenth of the price. I think is a super good value proposition. And right now, I don't know how else they would do that. I've like been trying to look around. There's things like Fiverr and Upwork and some website called Bark, but I haven't seen one that's like that I really trusted. And I mean, tell me, are people like, is there another platform like this that exists that you've heard about? And I guess, do you think this is a good idea? Do you think there's a demand for this? Do you think this like kind of makes sense?
Yeah, I haven't heard of any other website. Like yours was definitely the first one I've seen. I mean, other than like Fiverr, but I feel like Fiverr kind of has like everything for it. But I haven't seen anything like videographer connect you to athlete niche. And I definitely think like the local businesses and the music industry is a great idea as well, eventually to expand on. Um, no, I think it's a great idea. It's just, yeah, it's all the marketing, and that's a pain in the ass sometimes, obviously, because it's like, yeah, how are you gonna speak to the athletes? So, because videographers,
100%.
like, that's your selling point, obviously, is like, oh, a platform like where we connect. Like that already, like when I first saw that, I was like, oh wow, like that caught my attention. So just still the marketing. It's tough.
It's always the marketing. But
Yeah.
at least like if we're getting good at that now and know that that's like the fundamental like lever that you have to pull to make any business successful, I feel like that's like way ahead of a lot of other people. Do you ever watch like business focused YouTubers?
I haven't just because I've been like burnt out already
Yeah,
on
you've
just
been flat
school and
out.
work so far. Yeah. But I definitely like I try and watch more content creation videos like hooks, script writing,
Uh-huh.
ideation. That's kind of what has been my focus. I definitely do want to tune into like business YouTubers and that niche, but I'm a little overdrived right now.
100%. Yeah. I mean, finding the balance is, I mean, because you want to be able to do this, for forever. I mean, you got like
Yeah,
such a great thing going. Like you already have like a really, how many followers do you have? 5,000?
5,000, yeah, around there.
Something like that. I mean, that's
Just
sick. And you're already like,
been fun.
built a really sick resume. And I 100%
Thank
believe
you.
that you can work with any sports team, that you want to, if you just stick with it for another, if you just stay consistent and keep sharpening your skills, as you said. You seem like you kind of have everything locked in. If you just kind of stay course and keep improving, I don't see why that wouldn't be possible. So yeah, I don't know if I had a point there, but congrats. And
No, I
I totally
appreciate
see
that. No, I
I totally see
appreciate
it.
that. I mean, yeah, this is again, I've been wanting to do this for a long time. So it's been nice to, once I got the Diamondbacks internship, like I started tearing up a little bit. Like I called my mom and dad. I was like, I got it.
Hell
Like I
yeah.
actually got it. That was awesome. Because
Hell
I
yeah.
my tail off for that. And my parents were always supporting me, investing in gear, and like that stuff's not expensive. And they just trust the process and the vision at the end of the day. And I was so just torn on like I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna pay it off. Like I want to make my parents proud at the end of the day, and for them to see their investment turn success. So like that's always been my biggest motivation factor. And I feel like if you don't have a sole purpose and a sole why of you're doing this, like it is easy to get burnt out. And I have been burnt out, but I've always come back to like I love this. I love documenting moments, and I really do want to do something with like, the gift and things my parents have given me. That's always been a huge motivator, huge contributor too. So
I think that makes a ton of sense. And I feel the same exact way. I always think like, God, I live such an amazing life. Like it's a responsibility I have to like do my best and, try hard and try to, I don't know, just live up to everything that I can be. Just because like, if I didn't do that, then like, why did my parents work so hard? Why did they like do all the things they did? Like, why is all this, the teachers that, believe those kind of things? Like, I don't know. When people are kind of just like sitting around, not doing anything, like, I mean, if you don't like know exactly what you want to do, obviously that's fine. Like, we kind of fluctuate all the time. But if you're not at least like trying, like, I just don't understand that because literally, like, I don't know, not to get too philosophical, but you're put on this earth once. Like,
no, no, you're good.
you can't do everything. Like, you kind of like, if you're not like committed to something or like dreaming big, just what are you doing? Like, what's the point? Like, I don't know how you could live like that.
No, I agree. And like again, you only get one lifetime, and it's like, what are you gonna do? Sit on the couch just like eating all day, Like that's always my thing. I am in go-go mode right now. Like today, I haven't had much of a break, but it's like this is the life I've always wanted. And it's like I'm always gonna be grateful for that. I would come home so tired. I can sometimes barely get through the days because I'm like falling asleep at my desk. But it's like I wanted this so bad at the end of the day. And I am like when I'm tired, I'm grateful for that. And that's something like I write in my journal every night is like I'm grateful where I'm at the end of the
Is
day.
that
Like
something
I'm
you do?
grateful to be in school.
Do you journal? Because that's the something I do, and I find it really helpful.
Oh, absolutely. I'm a huge person of like overthinking and just always being up in my thoughts. So, I start my day like 5 things I'm grateful for. And my mom actually helped me for that because I was a little negative this last summer. just because a lot of stuff was going on. My parents are selling their childhood home. So my mom's like, we need you to be more positive. And that's always a hard thing. But how I start my day is like 5 things I'm grateful for. And then, today I feel blank. I did this today. And some things I learned, 2 things to be better at. Because I'm always a person who's like striving to be better. And I'm big on mindset. Like if you don't have your mind right, it is so hard to go forward in this life, I feel like. So.
Completely. It's part because I journal every single night. I use that app called One Day because I can type it and I type faster. And I literally just like unload all my thoughts because I find that like I can't fall asleep or like I can't focus if I just have all these things just like bouncing around in my mind and just like putting them from my mind on the page or into my computer or something like that is just so helpful and clears up space and I can think more clearly and plan and remember what I'm grateful for. And it kind of puts everything into perspective because I don't know if you have sometimes like I'll like compare myself to other people or like wish my situation were just like slightly different. But then when I like take a minute, if I journal or I don't know, meditate or just focus, just like calm down, not like be scrolling or something. It just like everything kind of falls into place. I'm like, okay, like I gain so much perspective and it's not so like self-centered. I feel like sometimes when I focus too much on myself, even though I like have a lot of ambition and goals for myself and want to improve, when I focus too much on myself and start like nitpicking, it kind of becomes like insular and I lose that sense of gratitude and perspective. So I love that you start your day with 5 things you're grateful for. I think that's like the coolest thing ever.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah. What about my mom? Because again, like there was just so much going on. Like my house, like I was brought home from the hospital to that house, and like my dog's getting older. It's just all life changes, Like I'm obviously gonna be okay. Like I'm gonna strive through this at the end of the day, but I was kind of having a bad mindset, and it's like my life is not bad. There's so many people who have it worse. Like I'm at a 4 year right now. I have 2 internships. Like I obviously like I'm human. There's gonna be pain, but at the end of the day, you got to come back to gratitude and your mindset has to change because it's like if you're not going into the day feeling good, how are you going to go into your life feeling good? It's good to start with that.
100%. I think that's an awesome way to finish.
Yeah.
I think it's a
I
great,
know we
great
got 2
message to
minutes
be.
left.
No, it's awesome. Oh, you see that timer too. I refuse to pay for Zoom
Yeah.
Premium, even though I host a fucking podcast, which is kind
No,
of ridiculous. But
no,
I can't be
man.
paying another $20 a month for another thing. Well, hey,
That's how they
nice.
get you.
No, literally. We need to start a business like that. Nice.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, if you got any ideas, I'm down. You're like the exact type of person I feel
Hit
like
the
anyone would.
DM.
No, literally. I mean, you got to do the work, and you got. I mean, you're clearly thinking right, and leading with positivity and having a good mindset. I 100% agree. That's kind of like the foundation of everything. So it's awesome. I love what you're doing.
Thank you. I appreciate it. And best of luck to you and your business. Like seriously, I was very like that caught my attention totally. And I definitely think you're doing something right here. And that's something the videography niche has been missing since 2019. Like I've literally been thinking of, oh, I wish there was a platform that connected the two. So you're definitely onto something.
I'm like surprised there hasn't been already because I don't know. It seems like a very simple idea, but I don't. Maybe there's a reason it hasn't been done. Maybe it's not going to work, but I'm gonna
True.
try to make it work.
Yeah. Well,
Well, hey, thanks so
we got less
much
than a
for doing
minute.
this. Yeah, thanks so much for doing this. You're awesome, and we'll keep talking over DMs. But all the best to you,
Appreciate it. Yeah,
and I'm sure you'll
absolutely.
keep crushing.
Thank you. If you need anything, always hit my DM. So just let me know.
Awesome, cool, nice talking to you. Have a good one.
All right. Nice talking to you. Have a good night.
Get some rest too. Don't get too burnt out.